The chaos, the arrogance, the raw violence, and the cold precision of the Japanese warrior spirit collided again and again inside rings and arenas across the world, leaving behind a trail of battered egos, humbled challengers, and unforgettable spectacles. Every time an opponent opened his mouth too wide, every time a rival smirked one time too many, Naoya Inoue and Tenshin Nasukawa delivered the kind of punishment that felt like a living lesson carved directly into flesh and bone. The story of these warriors is written not in calm ink but in the explosive rhythms of fists landing and bodies collapsing. And in each clash, arrogance walked in with pride and crawled out with its spirit crushed beyond recognition. It begins with Jamie McDonnell, a man whose record suggested he was too experienced, too hardened, too established to crumble. 30 wins, 2 losses, a champion who had never been knocked out, and a tongue sharp enough to slice through respect itself. But in the presence of Inoue, confidence mutated into delusion. His bold proclamations, his certainty in his size advantage, his belief that he could bully a samurai, all evaporated the moment Inoue closed the distance. The playful footwork vanished, the teasing phase ended, and the monster inside the Japanese icon erupted with ruthless clarity. The ring seemed to shrink around McDonnell as Inoue's combinations crashed into him like steel hammers. Within moments, history rewrote itself. The undefeated chin shattered, the champion folded, and Inoue walked out with the WBA title and the unmistakable aura of a man whose power makes even giants hesitate. Then came the chaos surrounding Tenshin Nasukawa and the Filipino fighter Fritz Bayagtan, a matchup that promised spectacle but dissolved into something far more brutal. Even Manny Pacquiao had arrived to support the young Filipino, but no amount of ringside inspiration could change what was about to occur. Bayagtan entered with wild movement, but his rhythm looked less like serious combat and more like a toy banging its own cymbals, unaware that the storm was already forming. Tenshin, cold and focused, dismantled him methodically, smashing through the overconfidence until the Filipino lay beaten, and even Pacquiao sat stunned by the speed and cruelty of the young prodigy. Victory for Tenshin was inevitable, and it arrived in overwhelming fashion. But the story grew darker and far more personal when Emmanuel Rodriguez faced Naoya Inoue in the World Boxing Super Series. Rodriguez was undefeated, a technical genius, a rising force from Puerto Rico with a record built on consistency and knockout power. Yet fate had scripted something else entirely. Before the fight, Rodriguez's coach shoved Inoue's father in a moment so disrespectful it pierced straight through the calm exterior of the Japanese warrior. Honor had been insulted, and vengeance became the core of Inoue's mission. When the bell rang, Rodriguez attacked with confidence, but it quickly became clear he wasn't fighting a man that night. He was fighting a storm. Inoue's fists erupted like controlled detonations. In an instant, the Puerto Rican stood where all arrogant challengers eventually stand, at the edge of consciousness, wondering how everything collapsed so fast. The miracle of beating the count only prolonged the inevitable. Inoue erased his undefeated record, claimed the IBF title, and delivered vengeance with the precision of a blade forged in fire. Tenshin, too, had his encounters with hubris. When Vizenlek taunted him throughout their fight, mocking him with relaxed gestures and smirks, the arena watched a man mistaking a tiger for a house cat. Then came the low blow, the strike born from panic rather than strategy, and Tenshin's expression changed. The samurai fire surged inside him, and what followed was a violent unraveling of the Thai fighter's bravado. Tenshin battered him until surrender was the only option left. It was not simply a win. It was a public correction, a reminder that respect is not optional when facing a warrior. Inoue, still in the early stages of becoming a legend, met Antonio Nieves next, a dangerous boxer with an almost flawless record and the confidence to question whether the rising Japanese fighter was truly legitimate. Nieves soon learned what others had discovered the hard way. Inoue's fists were not tools. They were verdicts. From the opening seconds, the ring transformed into a hunting ground. Nieves played the role of prey, his movements frantic under the relentless chase. Inoue tore through his defenses, battering him with combinations so sharp they seemed carved out of lightning. By the 6th round, Nieves was surviving, not competing. His corner threw in the towel, sparing him from a finish that felt moments away. Once again, a doubter fell, and Inoue's legend grew. The carnage continued in kickboxing when Tenshin met the iconic Rodtang Jitmuangnan. Their battle felt like a myth unfolding. Two warriors trading ferocious strikes in a war that thrilled and horrified the crowd. Rodtang's taunts suggested superiority, but Tenshin's counters proved otherwise. Their clash turned into a tempest of fists, elbows, and impossibly fast exchanges. When the judges called for an extra round, the energy in the arena shifted. Two titans, drained yet unbroken, stepped forward ready to sacrifice everything for victory. In the end, Tenshin emerged with a unanimous decision, handing the Iron Man a rare moment of defeat. Even as an unknown fighter early in his career, Inoue carried the same spirit that would define him. When Warito Panias mocked him inside the ring, dismissing him as a rookie unworthy of real respect, Inoue unleashed fury that exposed the flaw in Panias' arrogance. Each punch carved deeper into the facade. Each combination dismantled whatever pride he carried. It was a one-sided execution. And when the final blow landed, Panias realized too late that samurai do not tolerate disrespect. And then there was Pongporn Kratichim, the Thai showboater with an iron chin. But even iron melts under relentless heat. Inoue hammered him systematically, collapsing his resistance until the knockout transformed the arena into a gallery displaying another masterpiece of destruction. Tenshin's final ascent came against the great Takeru Sagawa, a legend, a champion in 3 weight classes, and a national icon. The build-up carried tension that crackled in the air. Takeru smirked, taunted, gestured, believing his own myth too deeply. Tenshin reminded him of the cruel truth that arrogance cannot protect you. Strike after strike, the prodigy punished him, until even the crowd sensed the tide turning. When the dirty tactics came, Tenshin only became sharper. He dropped Takeru, battered him, and secured a victory that cemented his near-mythical status. Across all these moments, one truth reigns supreme. Those who enter the ring underestimating a Japanese warrior soon discover the cost of their mistake. If you enjoyed this breakdown of legendary discipline and brutal justice, join the conversation below. Which fighter impressed you most? Who embodies the true spirit of a warrior? Comment your thoughts, hit the like button, subscribe for more dramatic fight analyses, and turn on notifications so you never miss another cinematic deep dive into the world of combat.